Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video we have this 2016 Honda Accord, and we're going to do the side door chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So this is how it looks before doing the installation on the side panels, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material in order to black out the entire panel. If you like the product, link for the product will be provided below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before we start with the installation for the side panels, we need to make sure we prep each panel. So all you need is baby shampoo and water mixed together in a spray bottle. Once you have your solution, spray it onto a clean microfiber towel and start cleaning all the contaminants that each panel has. Make sure that everything is completely clean and dry. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down to the panel. Okay, so with this one, we're going to start by placing the film to the chrome panel. That way it holds it in position while we align this edge to the edge of the front section of the chrome panel here. So align it right on the edge. Make sure you're covering the chrome and just use the lower half as the guide in order to align it throughout the rest of the panel. So place it and just follow through with the rest of the installation. Once you place the film, grab your squeegee, start tacking down the entire panel. And with this one, you could open the door and tuck in the film on top to cover the chrome. So just take your time tacking it on the top area of the panel. And then any excess material that we may have, we could trim it off in between the gap of the panel and the actual gasket here. Now that we finished tacking down the film on top and on the flat surface here, we're going to apply heat. That way we help the adhesive activate faster. And once we finish applying heat, we're going to look around the edges to see where we have excess material. So for example here, there's excess material. So create the outline with your finger and then you would trim it off. But first apply heat to help it tack down faster. And also trim off the edge as well. Okay, and now we move on to the bottom piece. So now we're moving on to the lower piece of the front door. So with this one, place the film on the edge. That way it holds it in position. Move the mirror so you can have more room to work with. And then just align it right on the edge. So place the film, make sure you're covering everything on top and on the bottom. If you see that it's good to go, then we can continue on with the rest. And you can have a little bit of excess material on this edge because we could trim it off in this gap here. So a little bit of excess should be good. Lift the film here and just follow the lower section of the panel in order to align the film and tack it down. So once you finish placing the film, grab your squeegee and start tacking down the entire panel. Make sure to remove all the air that's trapped in this middle section and on the flat and top area. With this section here, you could tuck in the film since there is a gap like I mentioned earlier, and then whatever's still remaining could get trimmed off. But before we trim it off, we're going to apply heat throughout the entire panel and then create the outline for the top section to remove any extra material and then trim off here and on this side. And you would apply heat one last time after you trim the excess material, just to help tack down the entire film. And then once we're done applying heat, you would repeat the same process for the rear door, for the top and the lower section. One thing to keep in mind before you install the piece for the quarter window is when you install these two, you are going to notice there is a cutout that separates the top and the bottom from this panel. So if you were to lift it, you would see the cutout here and another one roughly around there. So before you install this one, you will need to trim both these sections. That way when you install this one, you either overlap it just a little bit or meet it exactly where you left off. So you just trim and tack down and do the same for this one. Find the gap, insert your blade, and just trim off this excess material. And now we can install this piece. So when it comes to installing the last piece, just make sure you align it in order to cover the entire panel. So make sure it covers the curve here and then just follow through with the rest of the panel. Make sure it stays aligned on the edge. If you need to readjust it, you can. Just place it and it should cover everything here. If you have a finger like this one, you can always come back and lift the film carefully and replace it just to help remove that finger. And this is how it should look. Once you place the film, grab your squeegee and start tacking down the entire film. Make sure to remove all the air bubbles underneath the panel. So focus on tacking down this whole flat area first. And now we're going to apply heat to help it tack down around the edges and on this lower section here and on top. So start from the top and help it tack down. You can also open the door, that way you have more room to work with, and just help it tack down around the curve. And then just help it tack down around the curve, and any excess material will get trimmed off. So for example here, create the outline of where we don't need the material, enter your blade in the gap and just follow the design and trim it off. And then the rest could be tucked in underneath the panel. And do the same for this section here. And for the bottom, there's a gap between the panel and the gasket. That's where you would trim off the excess material. And don't forget about the top area. Make sure it stays tacked down. And with this one, you could trim it off right on the cutout of the panel. Just be careful when you trim it off. Make sure you don't expose too much of the chrome. And you would just tack it back down and do the same on this side, but it's not too bad like how it was here. So once you finish trimming off the excess material, the last thing to do is to post heat the entire panel that was worked on. So the last thing to do once you finish with the whole entire installation is to grab your heat gun and post heat the entire panel. So make sure you start from one end and evenly apply heat throughout the entire panel. So take your time when you're doing this and apply heat as much as you need in order to help the adhesive activate faster. That way it doesn't left over time. So once you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. So that concludes the installation video for the side chrome delete installation for the 2016 Honda Accord. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.